Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Let's see what's happening today. So I gave these cards a good shuffle. Let's see what's gonna come up with them. I feel like there's some kind of the word I'm hearing is overturn, but it's kind of like, think of the process of alchemy like that moment something turns into something else. You actually experience the past, present, and future versions of it. You understand? So there's some kind of like holy or spiritual experience that you're having of something changing into something else. And I feel like it's going to give you some kind of clarity and authority of what exactly, maybe creation or something, to do with this thing on the wall. Let's see what the cards have to say. The Five of Wands. The five of clubs. Okay. I feel like this Five of Wands is this like process that you're actually experiencing. Like alchemy is never peaceful. It's never like well, I mean it can be, but I feel like this Five of Wands, because five is change and the wands are energy, right? So you're experiencing this alchemy. I feel like this is the message. So you listen, because you are an eternal being, because you are an infinite being. Once you experience something, it's kind of like you always experience it. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that doesn't necessarily mean that like you have to experience it, but I feel like it's gonna, like, this experience you're about to have, or that you might already have had, it's gonna make you feel like it's this, like, it's like seeing the infinity cycle and then feeling like, oh my god, this is never going to end. But I feel like this clarity that you are receiving and this authority is like this thing of like, oh, like I am actually outside of the cycle of alchemy or something like that. Okay, like I'm even hearing something about like not being affected by alchemy, but I don't know exactly what that means, but whatever. Okay, but like, you witnessing this, it's almost like witnessing the feeling stuck, the alchemical process, and then the liberation at the same time. It's like almost very overwhelming, right? But like as soon as you like implode in that energy, you're gonna recognize that you are outside of it completely. It's kind of like it's kind of like you can take this with life as well, but like this thing that you were doing, this spell you were casting, this emotion you were healing, this fucking thing you were trying to comprehend or understand, it doesn't really matter, was a book that you just got lost in very intently or something like that. Okay, the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Hearts. Let me not say the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Hearts. You see, this is why I say like these cards actually speak so much more, because there's so much more, like, even though it's much simpler, like I would take eight and then I would take hearts. So hearts are love, emotional fulfillment, blah, blah, blah. What's eight? Eight is infinity. Eight is abundance. Eight is blah, blah, blah. So this is exactly actually what I'm feeling with this. It's this energy of, like, since you're recognizing you're not even part of the thing that you're wanting to alchemize. Like, you thought like you were trying to alchemize something that was you, or that you were a part of, but you got so lost in the story that like you forgot that it wasn't you. But as soon as you're gonna realize, like, this is even if you were trying to help like a lover or like a friend or a family member, or you were like trying to save somebody, or like, you know, like you had to like save this person or help this person or whatever, save this business, or it doesn't really matter. You got so lost in it, like you kind of like lost yourself, right? And this liberation, this realization that, oh shit, I'm not a part of this alchemical process even. I'm the one doing the alchemy. You're going to experience some kind of like, I'm hearing like a rapid release of emotions, but also like a rapid experience of emotions. But these emotions feel good. depending on how you feel about not being a part of this alchemical situation, okay? There might have been a certain part of you that you put into the alchemy. I'm getting something along the lines of like the Anunnaki with the divine DNA, kind of like putting a little bit of yourself in there just to help the process along or something. And that's why it's like, this has to work, this has to work. I'm even hearing it had something to do with like your godly pride or something, like you had to make it work, you had to fix something, okay? So maybe that's even the thing, like the change happening. Not only are you realizing you're not part actually of this alchemical process, which is liberating your consciousness to give you much more freedom and authority over what happens in the process and the experience. But I feel like you're also, it's kind of like perhaps that realization was the success, allowing you to release that part of yourself to yourself again. Okay, let's get the last two cards. The King of Cups. That's beautiful. That's like emotional authority at its finest. I even want to say like energetic authority, but with the King of Cups here, this is, and we did start off with the Ace of Hearts in at the front of the deck as well. The King of Hearts, like I feel like this emotional contentment and this liberation that you're gonna be experiencing. It's almost like that piece of yourself that you gave to the alchemical process that made you forget yourself because of, again, whatever reason it was so important to you, like made you experience yourself as an Eight of Cups instead of even a King of Cups. You understand what I'm saying? So like you just really got too lost in the storyline. Seven of Spades. We're gonna get to that energy now. Let me just get the last card. The Three of Hearts. See, and this Three of Hearts, this might have a lot to do with love. This might have specifically to do with love, right? It doesn't have to be, but for a big part of you, whether you realize it or not, this situation actually has a lot to do with love, okay? And this is this past, present, future energy that I was referring to. Or the reason I'm bringing that, like in the alchemical process, like the reason I'm mentioning that is because I did see three elements, and one of these elements is something that you put in, okay, in order to have something work, okay. This is interesting because I feel like the reason you forgot so much about what this process actually was is because you actually gave, like you like out of the three you gave two. Does that make sense? That's why it felt like you had to endure, or you had to make this work, or you had to heal this thing, or you had to help this person or something like that, okay? You literally gave yourself, and then like a part of yourself, and then some, or something like that, okay? And it really made you lose yourself. I feel like that's what the Seven of Air is. Yeah, the King of Spades. The Seven of Spades. So seven to me is about lessons, right? And Air is about communication. I feel like this is that clarity that you're finally receiving. 777 is what I usually see before I have like very fucking intense like divine experience. Well, it used to be like that when I still saw like angel numbers and shit like that. Those things don't really matter anymore, right? Just using it to create the matrix, right? Anyway, so the seven of spades, that's exactly, you got so lost in the story because you gave so much of yourself to make this thing work, to help this thing, to help it I just heard rejoice or whatever. But again, since you've come to this realization, since you've come to this understanding that you are not this process, and like that is much bigger than it sounds. I feel like you've taken back some kind of you've you've taken back some kind of like it even feels like taking back your destiny, like you've taken back your own destiny or something like that by refusing to give to something, or refusing not to give to yourself or something like that, by maybe you even like took back your own destiny by making this thing work so intensely that you were able to take yourself away from it again or something like that, you understand? Well, either way, this was like quite a process for you, but you did it. I feel like that's the message here of this. Like it always has to be so dramatic, but I mean, life's pretty dramatic. You might not always recognize it since you're always in your cubicle or some shit, Mr. Mrs. Doughty. Anyway, but life is pretty dramatic. If you look at what nature is, and like we're just like very tamed in our civilization or whatever. But if we had to live outside every day, it's pretty fucking dramatic. But I feel like that's that's what I'm trying to say. Like you literally took back your destiny. Okay. Okay, I feel like that's sufficient. Thank you so much, guys. Just had to like feel that energy out quickly. Thank you for liking, subscribing, donating, contacting me for a personal reading and session. Everything is in the description box down below. The toilet flush was one of my roommates. um, what's this energy? I feel like something's still trying to come out, but like it's not really expressing itself. I'm not even gonna get into that energy. Fuck that. Like you already took it back yourself back anyway.